Well, alright! Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be Studios. Alright, today I'm going to be doing another track versus track. Haven't done any of those lately, have I? Yeah, well, I'm doing a lot of them lately. Well, I've had all these ideas for track versus tracks, and I want to do them. And in fact, today I'm doing a track versus track on a band that I very recently covered. But man, I really thought this was such a good pair up. I'm doing it again, or I'm doing the band again, and that's The Police. The first album, Outlandos D'Amour, against Joe Jackson's first album, Look Sharp. Yeah, now, this is a perfect pair-up in my opinion. They pretty much came out around the same time. This came out in November 1978, and this came out just a couple of months later in January 79. And I feel like these are just like, yeah, these albums have a lot in common, and this is a great matchup. And so even though I covered The Police recently, I had to do this one. Yeah, so I believe, Joe Jackson has 11 tracks, Police has 10, so whatever, you know. I have ranked the tracks, so I'm going to go from 11 on up, and let's get started. Let's get tally sheet going. Police. Joe Jackson. All right. Okay, yeah. So, what do I have coming? Okay, well, coming in number 11 on the Joe Jackson album, I have Do the Instant Mash. Yeah, well, you know, it's not a terrible track, but it's by far the lamest track on the album, and it goes against nothing because there's no 11th track on the Police album, so whatever. But it still loses. I'm gonna be cutting coughs out of this. It's gonna be jump cuts because I'm gonna be coughing and I'm gonna be cutting that shit out. So, all right. But moving right along, coming in at number 10 on the Police album, I have what is actually the final track on the record, Masoko Tanga, right? Yeah, Masoko Tanga. Yeah, you know, not so great. I really don't think much of that track. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's a lame track. It's a lame track. In fact, if I were to put that against Do the Instant Mash, I would probably choose the Joe Jackson track. So, there's that. But it's not going against Do the Instant Mash. It's going against what I have at number 10 on Joe Jackson, which is Pretty Girls. Yeah. And, well, that's pretty easy. That's easy. I'm giving that to Joe Jackson. Yeah, the thing is that, yeah, like I said, Masoko Tanga is just a weak closer for a really great record. But I feel like Outlandos, well, a lot of Police albums I feel like are really front-loaded. I feel like most of them peter out toward the end. Yeah, and the end of this record, it really, really peters out. And Look Sharp, on the other hand, I mean, it's pretty consistently great. Now, so Pretty Girls, I have all the way at number 10, but I think that's a pretty damn good song. So yeah, easily Joe Jackson gets that. All right. So, coming in at number 9 on the Police album is Be My Girl / Sally. You know, sort of a Sting song, Be My Girl, with some, you know, Andy Summers insanity tacked on after that. And yeah, well, yeah, it starts out good, but then it gets kind of whatever. I mean, it's kind of the Andy Summers bit of this, the spoken word part, is fun and interesting and amusing, you know, once, but repeated listenings, all right. But that goes up against what I have at number 9 on the Joe Jackson album, which is Baby Stick Around. It's another easy one. Joe Jackson, 2. Yeah, Joe Jackson has 2, the Police have 0. Now, yeah. Again, at this bottom end, the Police have a little harder time winning because there are weak tracks on that record, but things are going to get more treacherous as we get on up, as we go up to the tops there. So, all right. So at number 8, coming in at number 8 on the Police album, I have Hole in My Life. Ooh, and that goes up against what I have at number 8 on the Joe Jackson album, which is Happy Loving Couples. And Happy Loving Couples. Well, Hole in My Life is at the front end of the album. I was just saying how the front end of their albums are, at the front end of the Police albums is usually stronger. And that is true. But this is the weakest track on side 1. And Happy Loving Couples is great. So I'm giving that one to Joe Jackson too. Yeah, Joe Jackson's cleaning up. He's cleaning up. Woo-hoo. All right, Police. All right, so coming in at number 7 on the Police album is Peanuts. Yeah. Now we're starting to get good. We're getting good tracks coming in now. Now the Police album is getting good. Okay, and that goes against what I have at number 7 on the Joe Jackson album, which is Fools in Love. Ooh. Oh, man. Now this is actually a competition. I gotta think about this one. Peanuts is kind of Peanuts would fit pretty well, pretty comfortably on the Joe Jackson album. Fools in Love would fit pretty comfortably on the Police album. All right. You know what? I'm giving that to the Police. Peanuts is just a great, just upbeat, just like slamming track. Fools in Love is really great. Kind of like reggae. I mean, there's all kinds of reggae inspired or pseudo reggae tracks on both of these albums. But yeah, Police take that easily. All right, so Police finally have one. All right, so coming in number 6 on the Police album, Born in the 50s. Yeah, and that goes up against what I have at number 6 on the Joe Jackson album, which is Look Sharp, the title track. Woo! That's hard too. It's starting to get difficult now. Born in the 50s. Oh man. Ooh. Though I'm going Joe Jackson though. Born in the 50s is great. It really is great. But man, it gotta look sharp. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. All right, so coming number 5 on the Police album is Truth Hits Everybody. And that goes up against what I have at number 5 on the Joe Jackson album, which is Sunday Papers. Oh, man. The classic second track on that album. Man. But you know what? That's pretty easy. I'm going with the Police on that. I know, Sunday Papers is great. I don't love it as much as I think other people do. I feel like Sunday Papers is a really beloved Joe Jackson track. I think anybody who loves this album probably really loves that song. And it is a great song, but it's actually not... Well, I guess I have it at number 5, but I feel like I don't love it as much as other people do. Truth Hits Everybody absolutely kills. So yeah, Police take that easily. Okay, so coming in number 4 on the Police album, Next to You, the opening track on the album. Yeah. That's how good this album is starting to get on this ranking. I mean, Next to You, merely at number 4, that's a pretty blazing track. And, I have coming in at number 4 on the Joe Jackson album, oh, wow. Woo! Is She Really Going Out With Him? The big single from the album. If you know one song from this album, this is the song you know. Oh, shit. Next to You versus Is She Really Going Out With Him? Well, I know what I gotta choose on that. I'm going Joe Jackson. Next to You is so great. What an amazing opening, first song, first album, first statement from a band. Well, they already had a single before that, but just like the opening track in your opening album, Next to You is just like, you can hardly do better than that. But Is She Really Going Out With Him? I gotta. But yeah, Next to You. The first band I was ever in, first band I ever was in, we did a cover of Next to You, and that's actually yeah. So that song actually kind of has a place in my heart, but I still love the Joe Jackson song more. Okay, so coming in number 3 on the Police album, Roxanne. Yeah, I have Roxanne at number 3, and that goes up against what I have at number 3 on the Joe Jackson album, which is One More Time, the opening track on that album. Whew. Man. Okay. Wow. Ooh. Oh, that's difficult. Now, Roxanne is so, God, what a great song. What a great sounding song. What a great performance. Everything about that is great. It feels a little played out, but even with that, I ended up ranking it as high as I did. I probably would have ranked it higher, back in like the early 80s when I was a kid, but I hadn't heard it as much then. One More Time. Man, I will never forget seeing the Joe Jackson Band reunion tour in 2003, and they came out on stage and just like bam, opened with the song. It was so badass. Which just adds, the track's already great. Great opening track to a great debut album. And then that memory kind of just adds an extra punch to it. Oh, fuck, man. Roxanne. Oof. Fuck, I gotta go Joe Jackson, though. I gotta go Joe Jackson. Oh, my God. I have to. Man. Or do I? See, I've claimed I'm giving it to Joe Jackson. I've marked it, and I'm still going, but do I? But do I give it to Joe Jackson? That's so hard. You know what? No, I give that to the Police. I'm giving that to the fucking Police. Yeah, that's that. Ooh, that is a hard one, but yeah, Police get it. Okay, all right. Number 2. Coming in at number 2 on the Police, So Lonely. Salami, bologna, salami. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Salami Bologna versus what I have at number 2 on Look Sharp, Got the Time. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, shit. Oh, God. So Lonely versus Got the Time? Oh. Oh, God. Okay. Well, okay. I mean, I know what I gotta go with, though. I've given that to the Police. So Lonely. Ah, oh, fuck, man. Got the Time. Yeah, I gotta give that to the Police. Oh. Alright. Okay, so this brings us to number 1. Number 1, the Police album. Opening track on side 2, Can't Stand Losing You. Woo! And that goes up against what I have at number 1 on Look Sharp, which is Throw It Away. Oh. Well, that's strangely very, very, very easy. Yeah, that's odd. Considering the way I have these ranked, this is actually very, very, very easy. This should be just an absolute, throwing my equilibrium off, kind of like having me banging my head against the wall difficult, right? But it's very easy. Yeah, I'm giving that to the Police. Yeah, Can't Stand Losing You. I mean, Throw It Away just kills. But Can't Stand Losing You, man. Come on, that's easy. Wow, okay, so Joe Jackson was absolutely annihilating for the longest time, and the Police just crept right up. And you know what? It's a tie. Joe Jackson has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and the Police have 5. It is a tie. How badass is that? Nearly as badass as these two albums. It makes sense that they would tie because they're both kick-ass albums. they're both really. It's hard to say which one is better, and they practically, they're practically. They have so much in common. These two albums, great records, and I'm gonna stop saying that because I've said that like 50 times in a row. Okay, all right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching all these track versus tracks I've been doing lately, and thank you for watching all the videos, and thank you for subscribing if you had. If you haven't, maybe consider subscribing, but either way, if you do, click the little bell because notifications. A special shout out to Ralph Vieira. Yeah, Ralph Vieira of the Almost Human channel. He is the dude who started the whole track versus track thing, and I ripped him off blind. I completely stole this idea from him, and he said no problem. He was completely cool about it. I salute him. But come back on Thursday because Crystal Durant and Tommy Von Voigt are going to be back here in the world famous SUV studios, and I have to amend this past Thursday on our 1975 Live Albums of the Year video. I claimed erroneously that this Thursday we were going to be doing live albums of 1976. That is not the case. That's not the case. No. Our Live Albums of the Year series is on hold for 1 week because we are finally bringing you the return of Albums of the Year. Yeah. Albums of the Year 2024. Now, when we did our last session, I forgot that I needed to put Albums of the Year 2024 in that session so I would have it in the can to show between Christmas and New Year's. I failed. I completely blew that. So, we're doing a session tomorrow, recording the next batch of videos, and so the very first video I'm going to put up from that is Albums of the Year 2024. So everybody who was looking forward to 1976 this week, sorry, got your hopes all up and everything, but it will be here the following week. This week, Albums of the Year 2024, and then the following week, Live Albums 1976. Okay? Any of that make sense? All right, everybody, thank you for watching, and I hopefully will see you on Thursday.